Hey, welcome back tuning into today's video, doing JMA Friday today, having a look at the weather coming month across the UK. This takes us into September. We're going up to around the 11th of September with this update. So going off into the new month and into the start of autumn. We'll just very quickly begin with a look at the radar pitch as well, because it's been a very wet morning across many northern western parts of the country. It has been advertised quite well over the past few days, of course, so it's panned out pretty much as we expected, although maybe not quite the extent of thunderstorms last night down in the southeast, but there were some very nasty storms in the southeast, just as I'm sure you saw on the news and in your papers this morning, so that came off okay, I suppose, and we've definitely got that band of heavy rain in the north and west that we've anticipated as well, so overall hasn't been too bad in terms of the storm watch updates that we were doing a couple of days ago. But this video is going to concentrate on the coming month anyway, and we'll have a look at all the charts on that in a moment. But before I go on that, just very quick to say about the ads. There's links to articles on the page that Gaz has got, browsers, widgets, any articles that you're interested in, please click through, you'll be able to go off and read the article, and thanks so much for doing that. There's also video ads on most pages, they open out within the content, and then when you've watched them, they'll close back up again. Thanks so much for getting involved, thanks to Mel. I'm rushing through because we've got a lot to discuss in today's video. We'll be using the JMA and CFS models today. So we start off just very quick with the radar picture to confirm all of that rain in the north. It's from eastern Scotland down through northern England as expected, into Wales, parts of the West Midlands, and down into southwest England as well. Quite dry over towards the east, but this band of rain will move eastwards through the course of this afternoon and into this evening. Probably break up as it does so. We can already see that across the Midlands there is signs that rain beginning to break up a little bit. Even so, even towards the southeast, there could be some heavier bursts through the course of this afternoon and into this evening. It will clear away by tonight. It'll be quite a chilly night actually, and that'll be a feature over the weekend. We'll have some unusually cool nights at the time of year tonight and again Saturday night, with temperatures dropping widely into single figures. Right, let's get on with the month-ahead look ahead. We're going to start off with the JMA model. This is 500 millimeter height anomaly chart, taking us from the 14th through to the 21st of August, so the week that we're currently in, or currently starting. As you know, blue extrapolates to high pressure, blue extrapolates to low pressure, orange, red, and yellow will be extrapolating to high pressure. Right, so we've got the low pressure sitting around the country there, generally centred a little bit to the west, but it's around the UK through the coming week, and the ridges up there to the east and the northeast. So the jet stream is going rather like that. It's a pretty unsettled signal that, particularly early on. I think this takes into account the pattern we've got at the moment. Actually, as we go later on into next week, we probably find this ridge up towards the northeast becoming more influential, if anything. But certainly to start off with, as we know right now, we are currently quite unsettled. Now, as we go through to the next week, this will go from the 21st through to the 28th of August. A little bit of a change taking place here. It's quite hard to decipher what's going on, but the trough is sort of becoming cut off down to the south. We've got this ridge up to the northeast, and we've also got signs of a bit of ridging to the south of Greenland as well. Excuse me. So I think what's generally happening here, and again, it is quite difficult to decide, but I think what's generally happening is that ridging is beginning to take over really through into the final week or so of August. Now it's possible that within that we could get some sort of a trough doing a bit like that, but I think overall those two ridges, one to the west, one to the east, sort of taking over and becoming more influential through that final week of August. So as we go through to the next weekly period, this one it's actually a 2-week period going from the 28th of August through to the 11th of September, and it shows the ridge building in very nicely then from the east. So signs as we go through to the start of September, as we usually get, September tends to be a very settled month with a lot of dry weather. Signs then that we are building in high pressure, turning it significantly drier, probably warmer as well. So get September and the weather is starting to show signs of settling down with the JMA model. So just have a look at how the temperature and precipitation charts pan out with this. We have a look at the mid-latitude view from the JMA model. For week coming up, of course, we know we've got this trough of low pressure out to the west of the country. The UK is in the top right-hand corner of the chart, as you're looking at it, as we always are on these charts. So for the coming week, we find the temperature anomaly is still coming out cooler than average in most blue colours. The rainfall anomaly is coming out a bit wetter than average as well. So it's another cooler and wetter week coming up. We go through to the next weekly period. This is when I think we've got signs of ridging beginning to build, but it's a transitional week really, so it's a little bit hard to decipher. But the temperature anomaly is still coming out a bit cooler than average, so cool end to the summer and a cool end to August if that comes off. The rainfall anomaly is easing most, so we're going more towards normal, maybe even drier, slightly drier conditions there. So again, that is indicative, I think, of the idea as we go through to the last stage of August, we're beginning to find ridging beginning to take over. And then the final 2-week period is taking us into the first part of September, of course. That's when we've got the yellow colours appearing over the country, so the ridge is developing. It means that the temperatures still very disappointing. I'm not sure why the temperatures are being signalled to be as cool as that with the ridge building in, but still cooler than average temperatures, so it's a cool start to September even with the ridge. But in terms of the rainfall, we're going drier than average. So I think the temperatures are probably on the pessimistic side there. We've got that ridge building in as strongly as being indicated with those yellow colours. I think the temperatures would go above average for the start of September. It'd be warm. We know that September can produce temperatures almost on a par with the middle of summer in some instances. I probably won't be that warm, but I do think it'll be warmer than average in the start of September if that ridge builds in, as the JMA is showing. So overall, it's an unsettled start, and then transitioning, particularly once we get to September, to high pressure. Let's have a look at the CFS V2 and see what that's showing. These again, 500 millibar heights broken down into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from the 13th to 19th of August. There's the ridge up to the northeast. That will become more influential through the course of next week with low pressure out to west and southwest, with jet stream is going rather like that. So the high pressure will get more influential from the east and the northeast through the course of the week, but there will still be low pressure threatening, particularly I think to the southwest. The next weekly period, going from the 20th through to the 26th of August, shows that ridge up over Scandinavia with the red colours. Low pressure is out west, and we've got weak pressure around the country, so I will think the jet stream is probably going a bit like that. It could be settled, particularly to the east and the northeast, but because there's no clear signal really across the UK, we're in those white colours there. Because of that, I would be a little bit cautious about just how much influence that ridge up to the northeast is having. That could be a surprisingly unsettled sort of weekly period from the 20th to the 26th. We'll have a look at temperature and precipitation in a moment. But then we get through to the 27th of August to the 2nd of September, sort of the third weekly period. And again, it's the idea that the ridge is becoming more influential for the start of September, taking over the pattern, blocking off the Atlantic. Jet stream is going something like that. So it's turning drier, it's turning warmer as we go through to the very end of August and the start of September. And then we get through into the final weekly period, going from the 3rd through to the 9th of September. And look at this, we've got high pressure in there over top of the country, above average height, centred right over top of the UK. Trough of low pressure in the Atlantic is cut off and not able to do much. The jet stream is going like that. So on the warm side of the jet, we're under a ridge. That will be a very pleasant and pretty warm, dry start to September. As I say time and again, September is a month that nearly always provides us with a taste of summer, especially early on. And this is looking pretty good. If you want some useful, dry, warm, late summer weather, then this is looking quite good. The temperature anomalies stack up like this. So the 13th to the 19th coming week is cooler than average. The next weekly period, 20th to 26th, is still a little bit cooler than average, but not as bad. It's coming up nearer to normal. Again, that's probably transitional week. We go through to the 27th of August through to the 2nd of September, and there are the red and orange colours appearing over country, indicating the temperatures are going warmer than average for the very end of August into start of September. And those warmer than average conditions, they persist into the week of the 3rd to the 9th of September. So a warm start to September certainly being signalled on this model CFS V2. I think the JMA pattern is sort of going in the same direction as well. Finally, precipitation, the anomaly for the coming week is coming out a bit wetter than average. The next weekly period is going towards nearer normal again. This is a transitional period, 20th to 26th. We're going out of the unsettled pattern, going into a more settled pattern, I think, through that final stage of August. Get through to the start of September, and we're hinting at turning drier than average, especially in the north, where you've had a really horrible summer. So drier than average anomalies up there, nearer normal elsewhere. And then the final weekly period, going from the 3rd to the 9th of September, is near normal, actually. I will think that should be a bit drier than that, really. So the signal for precipitation isn't as strong through to the start of September as the temperature signal. But nevertheless, reading between the lines, I think it's all good news. It's good news if you want useful dry weather anyway. And I know a lot of farmers particularly want dry weather at the start of September. Get all the harvest in. So, yeah, we've got a little bit longer of this unsettled weather to go. If the JMA and the CFS are right, we're going to see a change, a pattern change taking place, as we very often do at the end of August into the start of September. It will be turning warmer and drier for the start of autumn. So that's it for now. It's all experimental, of course. Don't take this too seriously. That's just how the model's seeing things at the moment. It's a snapshot of where things are going. This morning, it may look rather different when we do JMA Friday again next week. Okay, that's it for now. Weekend forecast. Where I come back for that. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.